we will be reinstalling one of these thermostats on this mini fridge. I've already pulled the old one off, and we will be reinstalling it with this one. This is a WPF 30. The old one was a WPF 27.5. This one has a slightly higher rating, but it should still work as good. First up is we need to match it up in here, and we need to see where this coil goes. This coil hooks up to our evaporator right here, which gets cold, and it tells the thermostat when to turn the compressor off. Because this isn't the right thermostat, this is a WPF 30, it has a colder temperature range, so I maxed out the adjustment screw to the hottest position, which is clockwise all the way until it was tight. I was just measuring with one of these laser gauges. I was just measuring that spot right there where it connects to the thermostat underneath. I found it turns on at about 30 and turns off at 19 at the number 5 position. So I backed this screw off 2 turns, and I'm going to let the compressor cool down because it is sitting at about 130 degrees. Now it's 120. So I'm gonna let that cool down. Here's the thermostat plugged in. We have our 2 power or hot lines right here, and then we have our green for ground. This white and this black doesn't matter where you put them. They can be on either side of these terminals. This ground should go back there, and this back one right here is another ground for bigger wires. Put the nut on the end of this. You can maybe see it in there. And I put this dial on, and then I put this plastic piece back on. One thing you want to make certain is that those wires connected to that thermostat do not fall off, because they could ground out. They get ground out to this, and this can melt super easily. You never want to let your compressor go above about 140, or the oil in the compressor will start to break down, and it can damage your compressor permanently. Alright, I've been unscrewing that adjustment screw for a while. I'm spraying some water on the compressor to keep it cool, and it's actually working. I'm trying not to let it go above like 140 or so. You can see it's steaming there. And I've turned that adjustment screw from maxed out all the way 11 full turns out. And now it turns off at about 0 degrees Fahrenheit and turns back on at about 25. Here you can see a quick little chart I made that compares the screw turns out compared to the thermostat dial setting. And I list the turn on temperature in the middle and the turn off temperature of the sensor on the right. What I mean by sensor is the coil of wire that comes out of the thermostat, which reads the evaporator coil. The compressor temperature at the sensor turn off doesn't really matter because I was cooling it with water. Take note that this chart may be inaccurate because I was opening and closing the door and I didn't let it run for multiple hours at a time. Alright, after tuning my fridge, I've found that it actually does freeze stuff in the freezer. And I think it's running too cold because it is on the number 1 setting, the lowest setting. And like all this stuff is really cold. Like this yogurt actually like almost froze. So I need to adjust the thermostat to make it warmer. I need to turn that adjustment screw clockwise, like 1 or 2 turns to get it just the right temperature, because my compressor in the back is too hot, burning to the touch, and you don't want it burning to the touch. So that's all, guys. Thanks for watching.